This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review. Write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it. And tell everybody you know about it. And then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Hey, it's a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Did not seek it, did not choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. I want to ask you a question. How do you go beyond success? And how do you learn lessons from the legends and get breakthrough success? Well, that's what you're going to learn today from best-selling author and world-renowned speaker and trainer Biro. And he's going to give you tips on how to build a great business life, personal life, and future for your family and your legacy. You don't want to miss this one. Well, you know, I start with that God's Minute every week, and have been doing it now almost 20 years, doing this show and sharing information with the best and the brightest thought leaders on the planet. And I start with that God's Minute by Dr. Benjamin Mays, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s mentor. And then I take a moment in every show to give God glory, to just give him thanks, to thank him for life and strength and health. Thank him for the blessings of life and the friends and the family, not the money. I'm grateful for the monies we've made over the years. I'm grateful being one of the top speakers according to Toastmasters. I'm grateful for best-selling books. I'm grateful for being able to go around the world and give speeches and seminars and events. But I'm more grateful for life and strength and health and family, the things that money cannot buy. And so I take a moment to thank God. And I say, thank you. I'm grateful. You know, in the scripture, there's a story about 10 lepers who were healed. They all went off, but only one came back and said, thank you. And so I want to be that. I want to be that one. Okay. So thank God. And remember, I say every week, God's gift to you is life. Your gift to God is what you do with your life. We want you to do something extraordinary, and you can. And then I take a moment to thank our sponsor. Two great banks, BB&T and SunTrust, were working independently, kind of competing. But one day they said, you know what? We would be better if we came together. And they came together and built a new bank called Truist. And Truist is built on one foundational principle: caring, caring, caring. And when you start with care, you build a different kind of bank. Truist Bank. We're grateful to have them as our partners, and they are awesome. Now, let me tell you about my guest. Brian Biro is America's breakthrough speaker, coach, thinker. He has delivered thousands of presentations around the world over the last 35 years to millions of people. He is the author of 16 books, including the bestseller Beyond Success, The 15 Secrets to Effective Leadership in Life, based on the legendary coach John Wooden's Pyramid of Success, which is a great book. And his new book, Lessons from the Legends. He has degrees from Stanford, UCLA, and he has appeared on numerous national television programs, Good Morning America and CNN, and now he's on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show. Hey, and he was recently honored as one of the top 10 interactive keynote speakers in North America and one of the top 50 motivational speakers in the world. Brian Biro, it's so good to have you, my friend. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you for having me, Willie. From the moment we met, I knew that we had to have some fun together. We're kindred spirits. I know we're going to have a blast on this show.
You know, I am excited about it. Now, let me tell you how I got to experience him firsthand. I'm a member of the National Speakers Association. I've been on the board of the National Speakers Association, been a president of the DC chapter, and have been the chair of the Speaker Hall of Fame Leadership Committee. At last year's convention, Brian was the keynote speaker, one of the keynote speakers. And he did a session that was so exceptional that I knew I had to get to know this guy and get to know him really intimately and have him on my show, because I wanted to read his books. I wanted to learn what he is thinking, how he got to that level of performance and presentation, and his information was so profound. So I said, send me your books. And let me tell you, he has a lot of books. And so I am grateful to have him on today. One of the things he did at this session is he gave everybody in the audience a thick piece of board, a wooden board. I mean, thick. And then he instructed us how to break through that board. Not having any karate classes, not having any kung fu, anything, but how he talked about how to condition your thinking that you can break through this board. And once you break through the board, you can break through the other things that have been holding you back and holding you down. And let me tell you, Brian, just so you know, that board is in my office. I have what I wrote on it, what I'm breaking through this year. I remind myself every day, here's the things that I'm breaking through, the next level. So tell us about where you came from, how you got to be this phenomenal thinker.
Well, thank you, Willie. And I'm thrilled that you got your board out there, because that's the real essence of it, is to do something with it. I believe the greatest gift we're given is called today.
Right.
And then tomorrow we get a brand new one, but we are the only one to get to open that gift. So
that's right.
I've had an awesome time. I've had 3 wonderful careers. So my first career after I graduated from Stanford, I was a U.S. swimming coach. And the common bond in all 3 careers is people. I love people. I believe that we have more in us than we could ever dream of, that no one who has ever watched your show is an overachiever. We all have more in us than we know. So my first career is I was a U.S. swimming coach, and had the joy of building what at that time was the largest private swimming team in the U.S. And But it really wasn't coaching swimming. It was coaching people.
Yes.
That's what we coach. It's the way that they learn to believe in themselves, the way they deal with hard work, the way they deal with setbacks, and the way they deal with prosperity. So I loved it, and I probably still be doing it, Willie, except I had no life. All I had was work.
Right.
And I always wanted a family. I always wanted some balance in my life, some rhythm in my life. So I'm probably the only guy you've ever had on your show who went to graduate school to get a life instead of a job.
Wow.
And I did. I went to UCLA, got my MBA. But better than that, I met my wife, started my family, and started my next career, which was a corporate career. So I love that when I'm speaking to organizations, I've actually been in the role that they've been in. I ended up being a vice president of 2 large companies. But again, I found out, guess what? You don't coach a company, you coach people.
Right.
And my focus there and what I really learned the most was, so many companies are siloed. All right. We have operations that doesn't like sales. Sales, they don't like operations, but they both hate the home office a little bit more. And that was the way we kind of were. And it made no sense to me. Right. Because each of us has a gift to bring to the table. So that's when I started to do speaking, seminars, teaching, to break down those silos, to move from silos to synergy. And we did. We had incredible turnarounds. And at the peak of this, I said to my wife, who is an incredible person, hey, honey, we're doing great. Let's quit. I got to go do this. And so that was 35 years, 36 years ago. And I've been speaking ever since. So, and I love what I do with an absolute passion, as do you. And that's really at the heart of it. As much as we love what comes from the audience, what we love more is that we feel we're doing what God put us on earth to do when we're doing it.
Absolutely.
That's the source of energy. So that common ingredient of building people, building teams, building relationships, and that we're really all in the breakthrough business.
Yes.
Every event you and I have ever spoken to is about breakthroughs.
Well, let's talk about that. How did you get to this breakthrough mentality? How did you get to even consider helping people to break through?
Well, I believe when we hear, we forget. When we see, we remember.
Yes.
But it's only when we do that we understand. Wow. And so what I want to help people do, and incidentally, that's from Confucius, so I can't take credit for that one, but right. I really believe that the most important thing that we can do is get people into the game of life, playing full out. Right. And so I really, with the background in athletics, I wanted to bring that into my speaking, to bring in the full mind, body, and spirit. Because when you're just your mind, you're missing out a lot. Right. And so and I thought, what would be better than to develop a way to take every key principle we're going to learn and we'll talk about on this show and have them put it into action before they leave the room in a way that does what a breakthrough is. A breakthrough is doing something you didn't know you could do.
Say that again.
A breakthrough is doing something you didn't know you could do when you started out. And ultimately, you know this, Willie, there's only one breakthrough. Yeah. They come in different styles and shapes, but they come down to one thing. You break through from fear to love and faith. Every time you choose fear, you know it. It weighs you down. It makes you think all the reasons you can't or you should run away. And every time you choose the love and faith side, you're like my grandchildren, your grandchildren, to get out of my way. I can't wait.
Right. Absolutely.
Ultimately, the breakthrough, I wanted to help people break through the fear that comes in many different kinds of modes and choose love and faith. That allows you to look at every obstacle as an opportunity, every setback as a chance to learn.
Amen. I like to say every setback is a setup for a comeback. Somebody should write a book about that.
I think so. I kind of set you up on that one, didn't I?
Well, look, now you do these events with thousands of people, and you give everybody a board, and then you tell them to write on that board with a big marker or pen or something that they can read what they want to break through. And then you do an exercise where you actually teach them from the stage how to break through. And I mean, to see the energy that is generated and the enthusiasm and the excitement when people get this board and they have somebody hold it and they say, okay, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. And then to breakthrough. And man, people are hollering and screaming and jumping up and down. It's phenomenal how you have developed this. We're going to talk more about this in the next segment, as well as the lessons from the legends, this book that is so phenomenal.
Thank you.
As I was reading it, I thought of people who needed this book. I said, this one needs that book, and that one needs that book, and this one needs it. So many people I know need that book. So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the lessons from breaking through. How do you do it with the board? How you help people get in the mind space to do it. And then we're going to teach people, because that's what you do so well, teach people the lessons from the legends and help them succeed at the next level. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back. Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me. You can call on me. Call me. You can call on me. Pick up the phone. You can call and call me. Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and support for the Dr. Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show comes from Truist Bank. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Home ownership is a blessing. That's right, it's a blessing. And the ability to build equity, value in a home that you own can be the foundation of creating wealth. Wealth that can be passed on for generations. Truist believes that a path to home ownership exists for you. I hear people say, well, I don't see how I could ever own a home. Well, Truist can help you buy a home with a low down payment. Connect with a Truist teammate to learn about the options available to you. Reach them by calling 855-257-4040, 855-257-4040. They really care. You can also visit truist.com/homebuyer, truist.com/homebuyer to calculate your mortgage payment. That's truist.com/homebuyer. Truist Bank is an equal housing lender. Remember, visit truist.com/homebuyer or call 855-257-4040. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show and podcast around the globe. We're grateful. The show is #1 self-help show in the country now, and I'm grateful for all those who listen on radio. And then it's in the top 5% of podcasts downloaded globally. And I'm grateful for that. And so it all is a result of your friends, you telling your friend, your family, and coworkers, you got to listen to Willie Jolley. Keep doing that. And also every week I ask for those who are global, somewhere outside of America, to send me a note. Hey, I'm in France, Greece, Puerto Rico, Africa, wherever you're listening, and send me a note, and I'll send you a little digital gift to say thank you for being a person, international friend, and we ask that you share that with everybody. Now, my guest is Brian Biro. So he is a world-renowned speaker, best-selling author of 16 books, and he is a teacher extraordinaire, a par excellence, and he does it from the stage. He does it in his books. Now, you helped all of these people, Brian, to break through this board. How do you get people to get in a mind space who had never broken a board, never done anything like that? And all of these people, thousands of them in a room, are breaking boards. How do you do it?
Well, thank you, Willie. That's a great question because I never get tired of talking about the breakthrough experience. And to me, it is the greatest combination, individual and team experience you'll ever have in an event. The individual part is the way we get people to do it. The individual part starts with the meaning. It's a metaphor. Happens to be extraordinarily accurate because the way you break your board is the way you make real breakthroughs in your life. Suppose your whole life, not you though, Willie, that your greatest fear was public speaking, that you would rather have 4 root canals without Novocaine than get up in front of a room of people and talk.
Right.
How do you overcome a fear that's that intense? Suppose you want to get in better physical shape. You want to lose some weight. You want to feel more fit. I lost 29 pounds 15 years ago. Haven't found it since. How did
Amen.
It's the way you break your board. And the board represents that inescapable element that you're going to break through in real life. It represents a limit, fear, obstacle, habit, or doubt.
Say that again. It represents.
Yeah, a limit, fear, obstacle, habit, or doubt.
Limit,
today is the day you're ready to say, never again will I let this hurt my children. Never again will I let this make me feel that I just can never do it. And so the first part of the breakthrough experience is related to that meaning. I have people, as you know, it's on your board, right on the front of the board, get clear. What's that obstacle? What am I ready to leave behind me for the rest of my life? On the front of the board, on the back of the board, they get to write down what most people don't do enough. They get to write down and envision what's waiting for me when I have broken through. What am I going to do, be, feel, create, have in my life, because never again will that hold me back. So I've had people bring their families back together. Right. I've had people beat cancer. I've had people skyrocket their sales career. I've had people work with people, the people in their life they were pretty sure God put on the planet to bug them. I've had people become better moms and dads. So the first part of the experience is related to that meaning, and it's personal for each person. And the key is that they recognize that they want to shift from what we don't want, which is the front of the board, to what we do want, which is on the far side of the board. There's another element in the meaning, and I definitely know you experienced it. And that is when we did NSA, we had about 750 people. We had 75 circles of 10 people each. Right. When you went up to break your board, all those other 9 people in your circle going, Willie.
That's right. That's right.
75 at a time, music pounding, energy flying. And some people have never been cheered for in their lives. And for them, that's the breakthrough moment. Wow, I didn't know what that felt like. I want more of that in my life. Yes. The only way I'm going to get it is to step forward and break through. So that's the individual part. The team part is equally powerful, and you know this. You will never see people cheer like they cheer in that breakthrough experience.
Never. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that.
It's incredible, and it's almost tribal because it's completely, we're all in this together. Yes. And so I've done 100 speaking events for Lockheed Martin. Wow. Right? These people are rocket scientists. They're brilliant engineers. They have tears in their eyes. They cheer their lungs out. So I don't care if you're introverted, extroverted, quiet people, they just explode with passion for each other. So that's the first part of the team element, because we get that feeling of, wow, from almost everyone who breaks their board, it's an incredible moment, but the better moment is somebody else breaks their board.
Right. That's right.
And the best part of all of the team experience, best way I can describe it is I could never have described it well until the best day of my life. And the best day of my life was my daughter's wedding day. Okay. And for a reason I never could have suspected until I experienced it. And that was for a good 6 hours that night. I didn't think of myself once. All I could do is think of her. Yes. They tell me I was laughing and crying at the same time. I don't remember. All I remember was her. Yes. And when those 9 people are surrounding you, Willie, going, Willie, they get to feel in those moments the way I felt about my daughter that night. We've moved from ego to we go.
Oh, I love that. We go from ego, focus on self, to we go.
Absolutely. Man. A real quick story about the impact this can have. I did a program for a long time, great company called Shackley. Right. I had 4,000 people break boards. That was a lot of wood that day, Willie. 4,000 people in Atlanta, Georgia. And as you know, when I create the event, I say if I have 4,000 people, I have 400 board holders in circles of 10 people each. Right. And I've taught these holders that if somebody doesn't break their board after 3 good tries, I tell the holder, take a break, watch, have them watch and cheer. And then as every group finishes, they all move up to my stage. And so if someone didn't break their board out there after 3 tries, but they refuse to give up, they're going to break through, then they come up on stage with me and I will hold for them. I can't break a board for them, but I can put them in the best place possible. Well, in Atlanta that day, The last person who had tried, had not broken through, who came up on my stage, talk about courage, she was a 95-year-old woman.
Wow.
She was about 4'9".
Wow.
Her granddaughter had to get up on the stage behind her and hold her by her waist from behind so she wouldn't teeter too much. And I will tell you this, when she broke her board, which she did, in front of 4,000 people crammed up against the stage, cheering their hearts out, the roar from those 4,000 people was so loud in Atlanta, I'm sure you could have heard it up in D.C.
Wow.
And here's the beauty. 4,000 people that day had a breakthrough. And I know it was a lifetime breakthrough.
Yes.
But the best one of all was that 95-year-old woman.
Yes.
That was for those 4,000 people. They got as much and understand that here's the greatest thing about being a human being. We'll do more for others than we'll do for ourselves.
Right.
That's when we're at our best.
Right.
And that's what the team element ultimately becomes. And then here's the best part. When you walk out of that room or fly out of that room, as it may be, you've become the star of that presentation.
Yes.
You fly out and say, wow, I didn't know I could do that when I woke up this morning.
That's right.
What can I do tomorrow that I didn't know I could do?
That's right. I loved it. It was so profound and it was so impactful to be able to break that board and to see my goals and my dreams, the things that I want to accomplish and I want to create in the future, to be able to break through them. What's been stopping me from the next level? Boy, I loved it. Okay. So
it's a whole new kind of vision board, Willie. It's a whole new kind of vision board. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I got in my hand this book. It's called Lessons from the Legends, New Applications from the Timeless Wisdom of John Wooden and Pat Summitt. Tell us about this book and why you wrote this book.
Well, thank you, Willie. First of all, for those who don't know, John Wooden, a lot of people know about him, but a lot of young people don't. That's right. He retired in 1975. John Wooden was the greatest men's college basketball coach of all time. Right. In my heart and spirit, he was my mentor. I think he was the greatest coach of all time in any sport.
And he passed like 2010 or something like that.
That's right. At the age of 99 and a half, he almost beat 100.
Yes.
But for those who don't care about sports, let me tell you what's better about John Wooden.
Yes.
Better father, better husband, better person than he was a coach. And so one of the greatest gifts of my life, Willie, was that this incredible man was my friend and my mentor. Mm-hmm. So I've loved his principles align so closely to the ones that I teach and believe in with passion. So I knew Coach Wooden. He was my friend. Pat Summitt, for those who don't know, was kind of the equivalent in women's basketball, what John Wooden was to men's basketball.
Right.
She was the University of Tennessee women's basketball coach and also an incredible person. And I wrote this book because I wanted to write about a man and a woman. I wanted to write about two people who reached the absolute pinnacle in their field.
Yes.
I wanted to write about two people who had completely different styles and personalities, but at the core, because that's who we are.
Right.
Whose principles, whose integrity, whose character was so closely aligned. These two were as different as night and day in terms of style. Coach Wooden was probably the harshest words he ever said, Willie, were good grief. He was a total gentleman, just treated people with great dignity and respect. Pat Summitt could melt a computer screen with her glare. He was tough as nails. Her favorite saying was "Toughen up, Buttercup." Right? So, totally different style. Both their roots were they're both farm kids.
Yes.
They learned about hard work. They learned about responsibility. And most of all, they both shared incredible lessons that we can learn about character. And I wrote this book because never in my life, in my 70 years, have I wanted more to help people understand the character is what matters.
Yes.
Not hype, not money. All those are, money's fine. It's great. I love what I do. I'm glad I get paid for it like you.
Yes.
What matters is character, family, integrity, responsibility. And these two epitomize. And they also created models.
Yes.
John Wooden's was called the Pyramid of Success. Pat Summitt's was called the Definite Dozen, by which they taught human character. And so I wanted to write this book, bring it alive with current stories about people who exemplify different elements within the pyramid or the Definite Dozen, so that they're fresh with people that are current right now, whether they're in sports, entertainment, whatever they happen to be in, to bring these principles alive, because we never needed them more than we do right now.
Absolutely. We're going to go into these principles. We're going to go step by step because I want you folks to get this. So we'll be right back after station identification. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast. Wherever you are around the world, we are grateful you're listening. My special guest is Brian Biro. We're going to learn from the greats to move from self-centered to purpose-centered. Your championship formula for remarkable results is in this book. It's called Lessons from the Legends. So the first half of the book, you talk about the lessons from the legend of Pat Summitt and some of the people that came across your mind that could be object lessons for what she was teaching. And I've got this book earmarked. I mean, I got so many places where I have made notes. And let me read one of them. This is about, it talks about J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter. Well, first of all, she was a single mom and she was struggling. She was broke. And yet she had this idea for a book. She wrote a book about this wizard kid and started shopping it. Every single of the 12 major publishers who read her manuscript in 1995 rejected the series. A year later, a small independent publishing company said yes and printed the first of the Harry Potter books. Her advance was a paltry 1,500 pounds. That's probably like, a few $100s in American money. Just something, not much. 400 million copies later and still selling. Her royalties from the book Harry Potter have made her a billionaire. And that is part of the second principle that you taught, is take responsibility. First principle, I'm going through the principles and then you just expand on them. Here we go. I don't want to go into, I thought that story was so profound. Scale the summit with the definite dozen. Respect yourself and others. What do you say about that?
Well, I'll tell you, Pat Summitt was all about respect. And the core lesson she taught was, before you can really earn respect, you have to respect yourself. You have to, and she really epitomized that. Respect is something that you earn by living your word. And that's really what she taught every single day. And she did it in simple ways. She was absolutely adamant to her players. Some people will laugh about this, but it's the truth, that they had to make their bed and make it right every single day.
Wow.
They had to take responsibility, because before they're going to earn respect, they have to respect themselves. If you don't make your bed, that means you don't care that much. So Coach Wooden was somewhat the same way. Coach Wooden, a lot of his players tell this story. He spent an entire practice early in the season every year on teaching his players how to put their shoes and socks on correctly.
Wow.
And the reason was that if you don't pay attention to those little details, if you don't respect your teammates, the only way that you got in trouble with John Wooden was to not respect a teammate. And what you got for that was called the bench. All right. And the same with Pat Summitt. She understood that respect is the centerpiece that builds teams, families, and a great life. But you'll never respect others till you respect yourself. And I tell that story in there about the American gymnasts, the women gymnasts who stood tall and took responsibility for their lives.
Right. Page number 47, I was talking about the little things. By focusing on detailed preparation, Don Wooden was able to be smarter and to generate consistent improvement and powerful momentum throughout the seasons. And as he said, it's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. This is really good.
There's a core that one of the most important things that both of them demonstrated that only is the key to having you pay attention to those little details. And it's called humility.
Yes.
John Wooden and Pat Summitt, to me, represent the essence of humility. Now, I want to make sure that humility doesn't get the bum rap it's gotten the last few years, because a lot of people think that hype is more important than humility. You know, a lot of people think, well, if you're humble, that means you're not really confident. Right. Could not be farther from the truth. You can be incredibly confident and incredibly humble as you are, because being humble doesn't mean you think less of yourself.
Right.
It means you think of yourself less.
Say that again. That was good. Say that again.
Being humble doesn't mean you think less of yourself. It means you think of yourself less. But here's the reason why being humble is absolutely crucial to paying attention to those little details, to approaching your true potential. Think about it, Willie. Only those who are humble are lifelong learners. Only those who are humble would rather be wrong and learn something from it than to always pretend they're right.
Right.
Only those who are humble are more focused on their character than their reputation, because your character is who you are.
Yes.
Your reputation only what others think you are.
Yes.
And if you focus on your character that way as a humble, lifelong learner, eventually your character and your reputation will merge. It'll become one. Yes. It has in you. You know, one of the things I first noticed about you, here I am at NSA, giving a presentation, and one of the world's best speakers, the most decorated, incredible speakers, a guy by the name of Willie Jolley, comes up to me to honor me for my presentation. Now, and he did it genuinely, did from the bottom of his heart, a humble man. Wow. Why has Willie Jolley been doing a podcast or a show like this for 20 years? Because he wants to learn from everyone he interviews.
Absolutely.
And that is with the essence of where we pay attention. John Wooden, one of the pyramid blocks he called alertness.
Yes.
We have an incredible capacity for alertness that we don't use. And here's, to my mind, the biggest sense that we don't use enough is called listening.
Yes, that's right.
Because most of the time when we're talking, all right, when we're supposedly listening, what are we actually doing in our mind? We're thinking about what we're going to say.
Right.
And so we're missing the essence of what they say, since 93% of communication is not the words we say.
Yes.
It's our body language and our tonality. If we are not paying attention, we're going to miss the essence of what that communication is. And so the starting place for paying attention to details, to being more alert, is to be humble, because you're always looking to learn from everybody that you go.
Let me take a moment there. This is such a great book. I want to make sure we don't get past where people can get it. It's called Lessons from the Legends by Brian Biro. Where did they get this book? Well, we'll come back again, but I want to say it again.
Well, you can get it in your bookstores, anywhere you get books. Get it on Amazon. You're welcome to get it from my website. It's available.
What's your website?
It's www.brianbiro.com.
And how do you spell Biro?
All right, Biro. And now that you can say Brian Biro's bio, Willie, you got it.
I want y'all to get this book. This is fantastic. It's a small book with a big message, and I want y'all to get that. Okay, the next one is after take full responsibility. We kind of talked a little bit about that. You can expand, but then demonstrate and develop loyalty.
That's a beautiful one. This is probably my favorite chapter in the book because I think we have got to completely reverse the way a lot of people are looking at loyalty these days. John Wooden and Pat Summitt both understood that loyalty starts by being loyal. That's
say that again. Loyalty starts
by being loyal.
Wow.
When you look at loyalty as something you get rather than something you give, that's not loyalty. That is not really building, because loyalty is something that connects us. And loyalty doesn't mean you have to totally agree with somebody.
Right.
We got to embrace our differences.
Yes.
So many people today think that I just want people around me who are just like me. I do not want that on my team. I want people on my team who are good at the things I'm not good at.
Yep.
I want people on my team who see the things that I miss. And then if we have a common destination, we want to be the best we can be, give the best we can give, those differences.
Yes.
People here, we're having differences. They think it's bad. Differences are good, baby. Differences. Yes. I want people who have those talents. Then we're going to do so much more than we could with just this narrow little thing of seeing the way that I see things.
Right.
So the real essence of that chapter, loyalty starts with being loyal. And they both epitomize this because over their long careers, both of them had many assistant coaches who went on to become head coaches.
Right.
When you give loyalty first, when people leave you, you don't badmouth them.
Right.
When people leave you, you don't go, oh, they were good when they were here, but now they're the enemy. No, you support them for the rest of your life. You appreciate the time that they were with you and what they gave to you, what you learned from them, and you are lifelong friends. Every time I sat in John Wooden's living room for 2 hours, he would get at least 15 phone calls from people who he had coached or who had been his assistant coaches who were so loyal to him long after he'd retired. He retired in 1975.
Wow.
Right. And they were loyal because he started by being eternally loyal to them. Pat Summitt, exactly the same way.
Wow. Next, you talk about discipline yourself so no one else has to. And I like to say it, either you discipline yourself or life will discipline you. But talk about that.
Yeah, I love that one. The story I tell in that chapter is about, as an ex-U.S. swimming coach, I had to get a swimming story in there.
Right.
And in that chapter, I talk about Michael Phelps.
Yes.
Now, probably every one of your listeners knows that Michael Phelps was the most decorated, most incredible Olympic athlete of all time. 28 Olympic medals, 23 gold medals. Never be touched. That is beyond belief in terms of what he accomplished in his sport. But when he left the sport, he didn't know who he was outside of what he did. And for every person who watches Willie Jolley, one of the things that Dr. Willie Jolley teaches you is that you are not your job.
Yes.
You are a human being. You are a father, a mother, a friend, whatever you happen to be. You are a whole person. But many of us get so caught up in our work that we stop recognizing that we are more than our job.
Yes.
And so it seems crazy to some people when they look at Michael Phelps, handsome, 28 Olympic medals, 23 gold medals. He must have been on top of the world, very, very wealthy from all the endorsements and stuff. He wanted to commit suicide. He got himself in trouble. He was lost. He didn't know where he was. Now, so many people in that area start to blame other people, but he didn't.
Right.
He disciplined himself before he disciplined others. He said, if it's to be, it's up to me.
Oh, that right there. If it's to be, it is up to me.
If things are to change, I must change.
See, folks, everybody can make a decision to get better and then do the work and have the discipline to make the commitment to say, if it is to be, it's up to me. And the change starts with self.
Absolutely.
And once I do that, everything, I think it was one of the great speakers said, Jim Rohn said, when you change, everything changes for you. And so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back because we got more to talk about with this book, Lessons from the Legend by Brian Biro. You're going to want to make sure you read this book. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Motivated, highly motivated. Motivated, gonna take it to the top. Motivated, highly motivated. Motivated, I'm never gonna stop. I had a job I really hated. It made me sick, but it got me motivated. I knew that this was not where I was meant to be. I didn't want to stay, but I was too afraid to leave. Then one day I got my check, there was almost nothing there. I went to the boss, he laughed and said he didn't care. My kids were at home hungry, I was about to lose my home. That's when I decided I had to make it on my own. Said I, gonna take it to the top. I said oh yeah, said I'm never gonna stop. My friends said I was crazy when I told them all goodbye, but the only one who's crazy is the one who's afraid to try. They said I'd never make it, said I would not survive, but I knew I had to make it. It was either do or die. So I grabbed hold of my dream and I put it in my heart. I stepped out on my faith and learned to really trust in God. Knew I had to fight with all my power. Then things started happening, blessings came hour after hour. Oh yeah.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and will help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast, globally trying to change lives, inspire people, and empower people. My special guest is Brian Biro, and he's a global best-selling author and best-selling speaker and a well-known motivational for his breakthrough programs. He has a number of books, 16. This new one, Lessons from the Legends, joins another one, Beyond Success, which were the 15 Secrets to Effective Leadership in Life, based on John Wooden's Pyramid of Success. This one, I want to dwell a little bit on this concept. Don't just work hard, work smart. I'm going to read a little piece in here that I love. Warren Buffett the Oracle of Omaha, and one of the wealthiest men in the world, and the most successful investor in modern history, is a brilliant example of working smart and not just hard. Nearly every single day, he blocks off at least a couple of hours to think, to read, to study. This is his sacred time, because to Buffett, if you're not learning, you're losing. Ooh,
Ooh, I kind of like that one.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so it's about learning. It's about working hard. Not just work hard, work smart, and also you got so many quotes. Tell us a few more. Winning attitude. Just pick what you want. Be a competitor. It's just tell us some of the things. Handle success like you handle failure. Come on, just anywhere you want to go in there, because we only got one segment left. I want to get as much of this as I can.
Well, a couple of them that I really want to bring out, and we can't cover all of them in an hour, so we're going to cover a few of them that I think are important. One is, let me just ask everyone who's watching this show a question. All right, are you a leader? And if you're breathing, the answer is yes.
Wow.
So many people get confused to think that leadership is about a position or a title, or that you have people reporting to you. But leadership is something that you said just a few minutes ago. Leadership is nothing more than making decisions. Every decision you make is an act of personal leadership. How do you show up every day? That's leadership. How do you deal with adversity, with challenge, with change? That's leadership. What kind of impact do you have on people? That's a huge part of leadership. So everyone watching, really understand that you are already a leader.
Right.
But this book is about becoming a breakthrough leader, a breakthrough leader who focuses on what most of all this book is about, is what made John Wooden and Pat Summitt so extraordinary. Right. People have tried to understand that a whole lot. And I'm going to bring it down to a couple of things. Number one, they were two of the most fully present human beings I've ever known. Now, to me, the most important single thing that I teach, that I am passionate about, is that the greatest gift we ever give to anyone is our full presence. What does that mean? When you're fully present, 100% of your mind, body, and spirit is with the person you're with where they are now.
Okay.
Now, how many of us ever been with somebody where we know their body's present, but the rest of them is in another county?
That's right.
Here's a big question. How does it make you feel when someone you wish to be present with you is not fully present with you? For some people, it makes them angry.
Right.
Makes them want to grab their head and yank it over, especially if it's our wife.
Right.
But for almost everyone, it makes them feel worth less. It makes them feel insignificant and unimportant. And here's our job, leaders. We just said we're all leaders. I believe that our greatest job, whether it's in our careers, most definitely in our families, in our communities, in every person that we are, if we're speakers to people in our audience, our job is to help the people that we lead, that we serve, that we love, that we care about, to know they're important, to know that they matter, to know that they're significant. Because when people feel important, they rise to a, oh yeah, spirit.
Yes.
When people feel unimportant, they give up. They
That's
quit.
right. That's
they
right.
fall to a, oh no, spirit.
That's right.
And John Wooden and Pat Summitt, through all of their teaching, most of all were fully present. I know this firsthand. When I was sitting next to John Wooden, it was the most amazing feeling I ever had. When I left the room, I felt like I was the guy.
Wow.
Because he was so paying attention, listening to every word, really caring about me as a person.
I want to say a little something I learned from Coach Wooden, and I share it often in my speeches. Is back in early 2000s, I remember being in Williamsburg, Virginia. My son had just started college there, and he was going to college there, and we went to pick him up, and we had a car with had cassette deck in it back when you had cassettes, so we would listen to cassettes. And on this cassette was an interview with Coach Wooden. And the guy said, Coach Wooden, you've won more college championships than anybody else in history. You are the greatest college basketball coach of all time. What's the secret to your success? And what are you doing now that you're 99 years old. He was 99 at that point. He only had a half a year to live. We didn't know that. He said, I'm going to give you both answers without one answer. I'm doing the same thing today I've been doing for the last 65 years. Every day I work on getting better.
That's it.
Every day I work on getting better. And when I get better, things get better. So anyway, I want to ask you a question I ask every guest. You come to DC, you do your breakthrough. I go to the big arena and I see you do your thing. And then afterwards, we go to lunch somewhere. And then we go to Howard University or American University, my alma mater, or one of the great universities in Washington. And we go to a business class. And I want you to tell my audience some you gottas that you would tell that business class of people who want to be successful in business and life. Here are a few you gottas if you're going to be successful.
You got it. You got it. Number one, you gotta be fully present to the people in your life. You'll never build trust without it. You got to be present and focus on it every day. Number two, you got to be humble. You got to always be looking to learn and understand that sometimes the greatest lessons come as the biggest setbacks.
Yes.
Right. And that within every adversity is planted the seed of equivalent or greater benefit.
That's right.
You got to be a world-class buddy thinker. That there is nothing more important to building people than being someone who looks to give recognition, acknowledgement, and appreciation. Those are things you give, and you'll never get them back until you give them out. So really look for the best of me. Finally, you got to be a positive Pygmalion. The Pygmalion spirit says that our thoughts, our beliefs, and our expectations are magnetic. In other words, as I look at you, I not only just see you, I pull you in the direction of the way I see you.
Yes.
And the greater my influence, the stronger the Pygmalion. So we're all Pygmalions. There's only one question. What kind? Do you look at people to build them? You look for their beauty, or do you look for their weakness?
Wow.
Do you look for their opportunity, or you look for their limits? The more and remember that the last you gotta is what you focus on is what you create. It's not what you get. It's what you create. Yes. It's what you put in. So focus on what you want to create. Focus on what you want to do, be, give, and you will start to create so many breakthroughs in your life.
I love this. Where can they get this book first?
Well,
Lessons
first of all,
from the legend.
Go to my website, www.brian, with an I, B-R-I-A-N, Biro, B-I-R-O.com. You can get the book there, get the book on Amazon. On my website, my passion, Willie, as is one of yours, I love getting in front of a room and trying to help people discover their breakthrough potential. Yeah. So go to my website. I'd love to come and speak for your organization. It's my passion. I will keep doing it until I have to bring 4 people with me to stand on either side so I don't fall over. And I know you'll appreciate this, Willie. I joke about it, but it's the truth. When I'm on stage, I'm 25.
Yes.
When I get off stage, okay, I'm 70, but on stage, I'm 25.
My thing is I plan to, when I die, I plan to be done after a nice speech, and I done sold some books, I've signed some books. And then when they put me in the box, as they're coming by, I got to pop up and say, I got one more thing to say. Well, I want to thank Brian Biro for being my guest. I want you to get this book. It's called Lessons from the Legends, New Applications from the Timeless Wisdom of John Wooden and Pat Summitt. Also get his book, Beyond Success, The 15 Secrets to Effective Leadership and Life, based on legendary coach John Wooden's Pyramid of Success. He got 16 books. You get them all. Get all the books, give them to friends or family members, and then book him to speak for your organization. I can guarantee you will not be disappointed, and you will say, I paid him too little, whatever he charged. Whatever he charged is not enough. That's how the impact of his speaking. I want to thank Brian. I want to thank all of you who listen to this every week. And I want to thank Truist Bank. Truist has made a commitment to help people to grow their thinking about money, their finances, and their family. They have a new opportunity called Money and Mindset on their website. If you'll go to Truist.com, Truist.com, look up Money and Mindset, and then look at all the wonderful things they give you to help you grow your mindset and grow your financial thinking. It will bless you. It will encourage you. will just empower you. Money and mindset at the Truist site at truist.com. I also want to thank all of the folks who have made this a #1 rated radio show and the podcast. Thank you all. Continue to do that. And then go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com for my suite of sites, how to have more success in business, your personal life, with your children, with your marriages, with your goals and your dreams, how to become a speaker. All of those things are at winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. And then join us every Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern for the Jolly Marriage Show, based on our book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been going on 40 years, haven't had an argument in 38 years. When you get to jollymarriage.com, you'll be able to see the TED Talk on how to never, ever argue again, but you'll also be able to get the books and get the resources that will help your marriage and your relationships. So join us 9 o'clock Eastern Time on A Jolly Marriage on Facebook, A Jolly Marriage on Instagram, and Willie Jolley LinkedIn Live. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. Have a great week on purpose. God bless you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.